Mawe ni wepa selale mawe selale mawe selale mawe we baba selale mawe homeless Mona is sleeping on the midnight lane homeless
Surviving the cold winter is an integral part of the Canadian life. When it's minus 40 degrees with the wind chill, most Canadians kit up and get going. A home to call their own, a warm breakfast with family or friends is a great privilege. Unfortunately, this is not a privilege that all Canadians have. Gordon Vance had it all: a well-paying job, a wife, and a family.
I was a plumber in Manawaki, Quebec.
Okay.
And had went through a divorce, and I decided that I have a 9-year-old son, and what I wanted to do is stay close to my son, so I came to Ottawa rather than go home to Vancouver. So that way I could still be close to my son. And I started work, and I broke my ribs, so now I wasn't able to continue work.
Gordon has lost it all after a broken marriage and an accident which left him unable to work. Gordon moved to Ottawa in the hope of a brighter future. It has not happened yet. He is one of the many homeless people roaming the streets of Canada's capital, living on the slim diet of hope. Charlie Roy, Manager, Media and Community Relations at the Ottawa Mission, one of those providing shelter for the homeless, believes there are 1,200 beds offered by charity to the homeless every night.
So the mission's been in Ottawa for 106 years this year, and over the history, it's offered the basics of food, shelter, and clothing. But in the last couple of decades, that has really expanded to try and offer services and programs to help people get out of the shelter and to move on with their life. And
the shelter maintains a strict regime.
The routine is somewhat the same. There is meal times. Breakfast runs from 7:30 to 8:30, and then there's a lunch at 11:30 to 12:15, and then there's a community meal at 3, and then there is a residence meal at 4:30. The bookings for the beds happen between 4 and 6 p.m., so it's kind of busy around our front desk during those 2 hours while people tell them, which bed they're going back to, and then they know by 6 o'clock how many empty beds there are, and somebody might be waiting for a bed, so that's when all the bed assignments happen.
The Ottawa Mission alone accommodates nearly 250 men every night and has been serving the Ottawa community since 1906. Gordon describes a day in his own life.
A typical day to me is at the homeless shelters, we got to get up at 7 and be out of the doors by 8 o'clock. And from there's not too many places to go. You can go to drop-in centers and sit around there and play cards or have coffee, but I don't really stick around there too much. A lot of negative environment and drugs and alcohol, and I don't do that.
But addiction is the succor that many homeless persons resort to when all else has failed. One homeless person agreed to speak to us on camera after getting his dope. We refused because he may not be a good role model. Now the Ottawa Mission has programs to tackle the problems of addiction.
We see people from the community coming in that aren't even staying here, people that come for meals or to use our learning center, or there's lots of different services. Our medical clinic, they might be staying at another shelter and they come here to use services. So there's
Gordon hopes not to need the drug rehabilitation programs. For him, addiction is a road where many that walk never return. His main preoccupation is how to raise the $80 to put a smile on his son's face during the Christmas season.
The last time I just outright bought him the game,
Yeah.
which he absolutely loved, and I was the best daddy in the world. And me not feeling good about myself because of the situation I'm in, I said to him, we were talking, I said, you know what, son, I really try to be a good dad. He goes, and I really felt good. He said, no, Daddy, you're already the best daddy in the world, and that felt really good.
The recession badly affects the capacity of organizations like the Ottawa Mission in their quest to providing shelter, meal, and hope for the hopeless. Government spending has dipped, and with it, the capacity of many to fulfill their social obligations to the less privileged in the society.
Obviously, more money might help more people.
Now I'm a little bit down on myself, but I'm also at the same time, I got hope. You know, I'm a Christian, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, and God is with me. He won't leave me nor forsake me, and he'll.
Homeless, homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. Homeless, homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake. We are homeless, and we are homeless, moonlight sleeping on a midnight lake.